All right, Lisa's YouTube thing. Episode 1, 2 was the last thing in episode. I don't know. Oh, also, I wanted to quickly share where I got the name from for this. I'm going to call it Pale Pink Ink. At least I'm going to try to call it that. Do you give YouTube things a title or do you just say your name? I don't know. But it's going to be called Pale Pink Ink because I was reading through my journals and I came across a quote that was shared with me by one of my clients. And he said that the palest ink lasts longer than the best memory. And that's something that resonates with me because there are so many things that I've written in my journals that are just remarkable or funny or poignant in some way that I would not remember at all if I hadn't written them down. And a lot of times my ink is pink. So, pale pink ink. Here we are. Okay, so first time doing this. Let's see how this goes. So, we're going to start with this journal here, and I'm going to tell you about it, about the decorations. This is a doodle I made in high school and saved because I'm a hoarder. So I put that on the cover, and then I also surrounded it with random ass stickers and keys from places that I've lived. I had just moved home from New York and had all these keys from various apartments, and I decorated it, and it was really heavy, and then the cover ripped off. Oops. What do we have inside the cover? Sweet notes that people gave me at work. Inside we have, this was my laundry card in one of my apartments. These are cards they give you when you donate lots of blood. I've got an old school library card from the library I grew up going to. I've got notes from people at the camp where I worked. This is my pass to get into Sirius XM when Big J had me on his show. The back is much more exciting. This is from the New York Botanical Garden, which I love going to. They've got this massive field of daffodils in the early spring, and it's ballin'. This is a wrapper off of, I love that this is a thing. Apparently, in Mexico, nuns are known for making hot chocolate, and I was like, yes, love that. So I bought some of it. It was gross, but I saved the wrapper. And this is from my gym in New York, Crunch. That was my swipey thing to get in. This is a tag off of the purses I used to sell. Here's a postcard from the Russian tea room. That place is great. And this came off of a thingy from, I went to this restaurant with a client in the city. It has 21 in the name. I don't remember. It's super fancy, and they have all these toys hanging from the ceiling, and there was a mug on the ceiling, and I shoved a tampon in there, and it's probably still there collecting dust. Anyway, none of that is important. Wow, I was told to keep these videos to under 5 minutes, and we're already at 3.5. So, fuck everything, I guess. Okay, so, Pale Pink Ink. Here we go. November 9th, 2017. Greetings from the Pacific Aria. I've nearly survived my first cruise. We're back in Brisbane tomorrow. It's been madness. There's a lot to learn. It feels like I've been here longer than I have, but overall I'm handling it pretty well. It gets a bit easier every day. I'm taking this first cruise to get my head screwed on, and from there I'll start getting back to my goals and implement time for writing and exercise. I feel fat and it's awful, awful. Please help. It's hard with all this food around, and the desserts are so adorable. I've been able to go in briefly to each port just to figure out how things work. No beach for me yet. Most ports you have to travel, and I just didn't have the knowledge or time for that yet, but I'm getting there. Overall, cruising definitely doesn't appeal to me as a vacation option, but I can now say I've been to New Caledonia and Vanuatu. Vanuatu looks a lot like Jamaica, and I burst into tears in my taxi because I'm a crazy person. I also pine for pole dancing and comedy and general New Yorkness. Excitement is a bit harder to find and chase here. The men are lacking, as feared. I seem to have entered a desert in that regard. I had my eye on a very pretty South African guy, but he is a girlfriend. Very disappointing. I hope that my schedule will allow me to catch comedy. It's cool that you can hear the waves while you're in bed. People pay a fortune for oceanfront homes, and I get it for free. Ha ha. We're definitely over the 5-minute time limit. I'm accustomed to being a brunette again, but life will be so much better once my bangs grow in a bit and I get some length. Jessica said I have like 3 inches of dead hair. Ha, I'm so fucked in that regard. This ship seems pretty mediocre overall, but I'm enjoying the live shows. Please help me to take advantage of that stuff and to work toward my goals. I think I'm going to go lay down until work. It's worth mentioning that my journals are all prayer journals, I guess you could say. Like, they're addressed to God, the universe, however you think of that stuff. So I'll say things like, thank you for this, or please help me with that. So if you hear that, that's what that means. This episode is done. It's too long. Bye-bye.